Hey, welcome back to Coffee with My Dad. We have Dad, and we also have Rebekah, who is the babyest of the first generation flamenco clan. There's a new generation that is being formed. Not really the first generation, but now we will have met all of the first flamenco children. It's so weird that there's more. That's still just such a crazy concept in my head. Like, there's another generation, like, beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works, man.
I know, but it's just weird.
You think it's weird for you. But think about what I feel like. My kid talking about having his kid.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a blessing. It's you guys. It's amazing, especially watching you guys with like Derek with Milo, Daniel and Katie with their little ones, and and there's a few more. There's more than we thought that were coming, aren't there? We won't talk about that here. We'll save that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes,
really
we
cool.
will. Well, Becca, tell us about where you're at, where you're chatting from, where you at in life. You're frozen. Okay, there you're back. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I know you guys are kind of laggy too, so I'll just like give it a second whenever you guys say something. But okay, yeah, I'm at Common Grounds, which is like a camp or like coffee shop, maybe a mile off my campus. It's kind of just how I get away, but it's also like Common Grounds is also a church on Sundays, so it's a coffee shop Monday through Saturday. And then it's church all day Sunday, so it's closed on Sundays, but it's like kind of the home base. Like right now there's probably 4 Bible studies going on right now in this coffee shop. So it's just like, I love studying here just because I'm like, the presence of God is here in many different, like between many different groups of people. So it's just awesome. I also bring my Bible and I study a little bit before I actually study for school. So it's kind of my like 2-in-1. Yeah.
That's
Right
really
on.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cute.
Tell us
I know,
about where you're. Oh, go ahead.
No, where I'm at what?
Where you're going to school? Because nobody else knows.
Oh,
Maybe they do.
that's
There's only
true.
4 people that watch this, but
That's fair. I go to TCU, Texas Christian University. It's in Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, it's a cute little town. We're kind of a little sheltered from the rest of Fort Worth, I think, because if you drive like 5 miles, 10 miles outside of where the campus is, it looks like a different Fort Worth. But it's a cute little area, and I love it. So, yeah, it's awesome.
right on.
It's cool. It's like a little bubble.
Yeah. It's definitely its own little bubble, for sure. Yeah, we're pretty close
What
to
kind of
Dallas.
coffee
It's only like
drinking?
an iced vanilla latte with oat milk. So practically mom's
Nice.
order, except iced.
Nice.
What can I say?
Yeah. What are you
As
drinking,
much as I
Derek?
like.
I'm drinking a pour over, just black coffee.
Okay.
And I assume
What do
you
you-
have a mocha somewhere around there?
No, I don't. It's just regular black coffee. You can't see it, but it's in there. I promise.
Okay.
Because I'm having coffee with a friend of ours. So Becca knows Brad, local FCA
Oh, yeah.
leader, and so we're gonna go have coffee in a little bit, and I will have a mocha then over at our Spearhead.
Right on.
I miss Spearhead.
So is Common
No, Brad's
Ground
awesome.
coffee? Is it anywhere close to Spearhead? Like, no. Okay.
It's close enough. Yeah, it's close enough, and also like if you go, like being in Fort Worth, Dallas area, if I were to get something close to Spearhead, it'd probably be like $10. So I'm gonna stick with my okay-ish $6 coffee. It also takes frog bucks, so I'm on campus money. I'm not actually spending my own money here.
Frog bucks.
That's the way to do it.
Nice.
It's like partnered with my meal plan. So
So did you hear that? Becca just gave an example of, there's girl math. Well, there's also college student math. And she just gave a great example, right? The frog bucks are not real money. It's not like real money.
Right. I caught that.
Well, okay, because since I'm an RA, my meal plan is free, and on my meal plan, I get $150 of off-campus
Yeah.
money, and Common Grounds takes it. They call them frog bucks, so therefore it's free.
Sure. How many hours do you have to put in a week to get that free coffee?
Honestly, being an RA, it's so easy, less than like
Okay.
10 hours a week. My job description tells me I need to be working 15.
Okay.
It's not, yeah.
Wow.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. What's
Right
been
on.
your biggest surprise being an RA?
How easy the job is, because I went from a different position within the dorm where I didn't live there, but it was all admin work.
Yeah.
And it was too much, honestly, for like a college student also in ROTC. Like, it was just flat out too much for me. So I was like nervous. I was like, oh no, RA is going to be a bigger commitment, like everyone says, but it's not. It's really not. As long as you talk to people and you're friends with people, you're fine. Like, that's your job. I get paid to be friends
Yeah.
and make brownies. Like,
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's not hard.
But there'll probably be something that comes up where you'll have to step up and earn it. Some crisis that somebody's having, and you'll have to be there for them, right?
Eventually. And it happens, but it's worth it. What
Nice.
are you and Brad meeting up for later?
Coffee. We're just having coffee. Yeah.
Aw. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We just do that once in a while because we can.
Yeah, I remember when I interned for FCA this summer with Brad, their whole theme was Exodus the 3:30. I must decrease so he can increase. And then this year for Mercy Culture, that's our theme. Like, this whole year, they're like, oh, like, we're working on Reformation. Last year was Dunamis, like power of Dunamis. This year it's like Reformation. Like, we have to decrease so he can increase. And I was like, wow, like, that is so cool how, like, FC, I wanted to tell Brad that, like, wanted to, like, because we have a huge banner now of, like, Exodus 3:30, we must decrease so he can increase, and I wanted to tell Brad, like, dude, like, God literally prepared me for this year of Mercy Culture with FCA.
Oh, that's
how that
cool. I'll
works.
share. You want me to share that with him?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Derek, I have a question for you, man. What's it like
Okay.
for you, like, watching your little sister? Like, look at the person that she is now. Like, what's it like for you watching her and kind of what she's doing? I mean, Becca mentioned it a second ago, an ROTC cadet. So, third year in college, ROTC cadet, she's an RA. Like, and hearing these things come out of her mouth when, you knew her when she was, like, this high, right? So, what's that like for you?
I remember when Mom came home with a little stuffed animal that baby sister picked out. I don't know if we even knew her name yet. Little
Yep.
white dog named Fluff. Milo plays. My son plays with that dog. Like, I
Really?
vaguely remember you coming home. It's like, the age gap is big enough. We're not crazy far apart to where, like, we weren't in each other's lives, but it's far enough to where, like, I was able to watch you grow up as I was growing up too. I'm always, I don't want to use the word conflicted, like, when I hear of, like, what you're doing and I hear about how, like, mature and grown you are, but there's, like, you'll always be my baby sister, and I say that in an endearing way, not like you're just the baby, but like, no, like, you're my baby sister, you're my little sister, like, I love you like a big brother should love their little sister. But I'm also so proud of, like the fact that you're not a baby anymore. Like, you didn't stay there. You were. We used to have to, like, watch you and protect you and cuddle you and, like, be quiet while you were asleep. Like, all of the things that you do for a baby. But, like, I don't have to do that anymore. We can have mature, grown-up conversations, and I can learn from you. And, like, I'm so proud of, like, who you've become.
Wow.
What you do is awesome. The things that you're doing are so cool. Like, the fact that you're an ROTC, that you are going to complete, like, I don't know, have any of us graduated from real college? Like, don't think like you're so much smarter than all of the other boys. You may have been the baby girl and gotten like the brunt end of a lot of things, but like you're going way farther in a lot of ways than any of us older boys would have, you know, or will have, like in different ways. Like we all have our own path, but like I cannot complete the collegiate education with the rigorous study and the discipline that ROTC requires and be a leader. Like I hear you talk with your friends and you're like, I hear about the stories and the sacrifices that you had to make really early in the morning for the people that you care for. So it's not just like you're doing cool things, but like who you are in the midst of doing all of those makes me so proud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's amazing, and I'll just tell you, Derek, it's amazing watching that with all of you. Like not just the collegiate things that she's doing, but for all of you, for your other brothers, and watching you guys all grow into the humans that you are, and to you're all really good humans, and yeah, your paths are totally different, and they're totally not what you all thought they were going to be, and you're also like right where you're supposed to be, like all of you right now. I can confidently say that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Becca, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good.
No,
you go. I was just gonna say, like, it's interesting to hear that perspective, because I think my sophomore year of college, especially, I was so conflicted of like, God, like, you put 3 of my brothers through Bible school. Why is that not my path? And I really did struggle with that, because I grew up watching all 3 of you and going like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, okay, I'm not going to do that. Like, I learned what to do and what not to do. And you guys were the example of oh, okay, I'm not going to go D1 soccer or try because it didn't work out. I'm not going to do this because it didn't work out. I'm going to try to do that because it worked out for them. But then he has such a different, like you said, he had such a different path for me. And I was like, why? You didn't teach me. My whole life you gave me this example to watch and learn from, to do it. Why is a 4-year university, why didn't you show me with one of the brothers how to do it? Even Derek or Daniel, Ben, they tried 4 years and it didn't work out. So why are you setting me up for something that's not going to work out? Or are you teaching me that I'm not going to finish college? Is that it? But I know that's not it, because I will be finishing. I know. And it's an interesting perspective, I think. It's just okay, this is definitely, college was a moment where God was going to be like, no, I'm going to teach you a different way now. You're going to learn from a different perspective, and that's going to be your own. So it's just interesting how you're wow, you're doing something different, but I'm crap. I'm doing not what either. I'm not going to Bible school.
So say more about that. That was your sophomore year, and right? And so tell me more. Here you are a year later, right? A little more than halfway through your junior year. Tell me more about where are you at now, and how do you feel about all that?
I mean, I learned a lot about confirmation and how much God loves to give it. And I didn't know that. I think my sophomore year, I was like, okay, God, how do I know? How do I know? How do I know? And I have a mentor still in my life. And she was like, if you ask God to confirm it, he loves to give confirmation. He will do it over and over. Eventually he's going to be like, you just need to learn. But even with the story of the fleece, I forgot exactly the details, but I remember the water was, or the ground was wet, and in the morning he was like, God, if you want me to do this, let this fleece soak up the water. And he woke up and the fleece was soaked up. So it was God loves to give confirmation. So I had to learn for myself, God, if you want me to do this, confirm it. And he did that through getting into field training, providing for me to stay here. And those were my 2 big confirmations that I was okay, I'm on the right path. And I just and it's been my sophomore year, that was probably my biggest lesson of if he wants me to do something, I need to ask you need to shake me. Like, I need to be crying, I need to be bawling, like I need to know it's the Holy Spirit moving me, or else I don't know. Like, I'm not on the line. Like, I need to know for sure. So that was just a big lesson I learned, and like, okay, like, confirmation is how I need to keep going with him and like listen.
That last part's super important, right?
Yeah.
Like the listening part. Dan and I were talking
Yeah.
about that the other day, about how sometimes we ask, but we don't stop asking long enough to actually hear the response.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
I think
I
that's
cut
kind
you
of
off earlier.
like,
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, I think the timing's really like appropriate because as long as you're living under mom and dad's house, like, you can explore kind of who you are, but you're still gonna answer to mom and dad. And like right now, you answer to whoever your boss is, kind of the school you go to, but like mostly yourself. Like, you're kind of like your mom and dad were in charge of your life for a very long time, and then all of a sudden they still have a voice and they're still influential and they're still like very necessary. It's not like you guys become obsolete, but all of a sudden you're now responsible for your day in, your day out. And I think that's like there should be a kind of like discovering of who you are. There should be a discovering of like, okay, what is my relationship with God like? Because I was under mom and dad's spiritual covering for a long time, but then there came a point where I was accountable for my own actions, and like I don't think I actually got like really truly born again until much later in life. Like I think like actually the regeneration of who I was didn't happen till later. But it's not like I didn't know God, or he was foreign, or he wasn't involved in my life. Like, he very much was all throughout my life. And I think like it's cool to see. I didn't know that you had that much struggle with that your sophomore year, but I mean, it kind of seems like you're on the other side of that now. You're a little more settled in who you are, and you're a little more like confident and like, okay, this is my path, this is where I'm going. Is there any like, I don't know, is there any more that maybe kind of solidified with just within yourself of like, okay, this is the path that I'm on, this is where I'm going? Or was it really just like, okay, I took this step and God showed me it was the right one, so I'm going to take the next step? And that's just kind of, does that question make sense?
Yeah. No, it's been a step by step, even if I had to take the step before I was confident. Even just coming to TCU, I remember like telling Dad, I was like, I don't know if this is the school, and he was like, well, deposits due. So I put it down, and I was like, okay, well, we're doing this. Nice. Like, it was just, it was right, and that was part of me. Like, I was still under mom and dad, so I wasn't sure how to listen for myself. And then when I got here, it was like, it definitely was a step by step, and I'm still like, I don't know what I'm doing after college. I get my job assignment in September. Like, I just have to be obedient. And I think getting comfortable in not being comfy in the uncomfy is what I've said a lot. I think is just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I have to be okay with that. Like, even mom's like, do you need money? And I was like, no, I don't, because it's already provided for me. And I have to know that with my relationship and in God, and trust in him. Trusting isn't in even right at the beginning of like John, like, it's like you believe that I'm the son of God because I told you were sitting under a fig tree before I knew you. That's the smallest amount of miracle you're gonna see out of me. And so I think like that, knowing he is provider before like seeing it has been like it's important, and it's something you have to learn, and it takes time. It's not easy by any means. It's going to take years, and I'm still learning how to do it. But a lot of just like, no, you have to say, all right, God, like, you're going to provide. You have to know it before he does it.
I love that, being comfy in the uncomfy. I think that's
just what
key.
being a Christian is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Dad, does that ever change? Do we ever get beyond that? Well, I'm just gonna take the next step and see what happens.
No. No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. But I think there's a lot to talk about in the next episode. So we are right at our 20 minutes, right about now. So,
okay.
Yeah. Until then, so maybe we pick this back up in a new episode, yeah?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, guys, it's so awesome to talk with you. I mean, talk about being in awe of listening to my kids just speak about God working in their life. That is amazing. It's a blessing because it's not something that, you're forced to do. It's like this is just kind of who you are in your own relationship with Him now. So hearing that, like as your dad, it's amazing. And I'll get choked up. So love you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Love ya.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.